This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
A couple of years ago, Mike Acosta, who is one of the best guides around our four-state region for striped bass and hybrid stripers, showed me one of the best techniques that I've ever learned for catching those two species of fish in the cold winter months. And on today's show, we're going to pass that technique along to you. Hi again, everybody. I'm Barry Stokes, and happy Thanksgiving weekend to you around the region. And I'd like to welcome you in to Cedar Creek Lake. Cedar Creek is located just a little bit north of Malakoff, Texas. It's a fantastic fishery for largemouth bass, crappie. It's a great white bass fishery, and on today's show, I hope to show you a few hybrid stripers that live out there as well. And while we're doing that, we're taking you around the region for all of your weekly fishing reports. Also this week on the Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, we'll be talking about trophy blue cat fish time upcoming in the winter months and one of the best blue cat lakes in our region. On Barry's Real Fishing, we'll be giving you the hunting season forecast. Yes, hunting season's only a couple of weeks old. We'll show you what to expect the rest of the season. And on the big catch of the week, we'll show you a gigantic blue catfish caught in Oklahoma. Now, as soon as Heather gives you the Chevy weekend planner, we'll have the Nitro Z8 out on Cedar Creek doing a little scouting for some hybrid stripers. Here's Heather.
According to the Salinar tables, the best fishing times this weekend will be happening right around sunset. Peak evening hours will begin at 3:55 on Saturday and at 4:50 on Sunday. The sun will rise at 7:08 and set at 5:21. Your evenings are going to feature a waning moon, 63% visible. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Now back to Barry.
Thanks very much, Heather. We're out on Cedar Creek right now, and first of all, let me show you the setup that you'll need to employ the technique that we're going to teach you today for stripers and hybrids. First of all, you need a fairly heavy action rod. This is about a 7 or 7.5 foot Abu Garcia Vendetta rod, a lot of backbone because we're going to be reeling in some fairly heavy fish. You'll need a big bait cast reel. This is a Revo Toro, big wide spool reel. Hold a lot of line. Set your drag fairly medium, not real tight, and you need about 20-pound test Stren original line. Here's the other key to this. You need a big heavy jig head, somewhere between a 1 and 2 ounce size with a big wide gap hook in it, and then you need a small soft plastic jerk bait about a 5 or 6 inch side. All we're going to do is stick the point of the hook in. We're going to thread it on about 1.5 inches deep, bring the hook out, slide the soft plastic bait up on the head, pull the knot around. We want it to hang horizontal in the water. Next up, we'll show you how to fish the rig and try to catch a hybrid striper on Cedar Creek. And Cajun Phil and Kevin will be next up from Louisiana.
This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Bite. There's a bite. Got him. Oh, there's a good pull. Out here in about 35 or 40 feet of water. And welcome aboard, and you welcome back. Oh, we still got a lot of fight left in him. This is your Southwest Outdoors Report, everybody. Out here on Cedar Creek Lake today, catching a few hybrid stripers, and that's a good way to get it going right there. A nice, fat, healthy hybrid. A lot of fight in them. They fight twice as hard as any white bass or striped bass for that matter. We'll let him go back. And I want to mention something to you here if I can get myself organized. This technique, we showed you the setup, we showed you the rod, the lure, the line, how to rig it. The key to this setup is fishing it vertically, and here's what I mean. You want to drop that bait straight down below the boat, figure out how deep the fish are, and in this case, they're just up off the bottom. You don't want to hop it, you don't want to jig it, you don't want to swim it. Don't do anything with it. It's hard to believe that those fish will bite this bait sitting perfectly still, but as long as it's sitting horizontally in the water, the colder the water temperature gets, the more likely the fish will bite it when it's sitting perfectly still. And this will work all winter long for both hybrids like these and stripers all across our region. It is a fantastic technique. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin in Louisiana.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fishing Report. Well, I tell you what, Captain Kevin and I just got off the water. We had a limit of 60 speckled trout. We had our two friends from San Antonio come visit us. We had 60 speckled trout, 20 redfish, and 8 big flounders. So Calcasieu Lake is on fire. I just hung up and talked to Tofield Bourgeois. He said, Cajun, right now our cast and blast is very effective. He said, we're going out in the mornings, we're shooting unlimited ducks, we're coming in, and we're catching a limit of redfish. Talked to Kerry Audemont at Hopedale. He said the same thing, but Kerry's going after speckled trout. As far as Captain Jack in Delacroix goes, Captain Jack says everybody's coming in with their limited ducks every day, but he said he's still out there catching lots of redfish, throwing the old gold spoon. Here on the Calcasieu Lake, like I said, it's been really hot. Talked to Captain Mark Hughes the other day. Captain said they boated in excess of 50 flounder. They kept their limit, came on in, big old saddleback of flounder. So I don't care whether you want speckled trout, whether you want flounder, whether you want redfish, or you want to go after ducks. Right now it's hot and heavy. I tell you what, give me a call, Cajun Phil, 337-540-5530. I'll hook up with some of these guys that put you on ducks or fish.
As fall settles in on Texas, more than 1 million hunters are getting ready for another season. But just how is this year's season shaping up? Texas Parks and Wildlife has this report.
Lots of rainfall over the summer means lots of habitat for wildlife this fall.
This is going to be an excellent year for whitetail deer. Quality, body condition, etc. Because it looks like we're going to have a good acorn crop, and because things are green, our hunters are going to have to work a little bit harder, but when they find them, they're going to be in excellent condition and they're going to have some big antlers on them. Pronghorns are down some, actually. It seems to be driven by lack of production. And so we've issued a fewer pronghorn permits this year out there on the range until we can get a handle on what's going on. Look at that big boy. Above average for turkey hunting this year. They're going after the mature gobblers. What they're going to see is a lot of immature gobblers out there, but they're going to see a lot of activity. Quail are not as resilient as some of our wildlife species, and so they suffer quite a bit of mortality, particularly during dry times or when habitat conditions are poor. But this year, for those quail that are still out there, they're having a real good year. What we're really hoping for and looking for is 2 years back to back. Then the outlook for quail is going to be good.
Better habitat conditions in the prairie regions of Canada and portions of the U.S. mean more waterfowl are coming to Texas.
The Fish and Wildlife Service is once again allowing us to adopt what we call the liberal package for waterfowl season. That means we get the most number of days out there and we get the highest bag limits, which is 6 ducks. What we're anticipating is a lot of juvenile birds migrating down this year, and that bodes well for hunters. It means we ought to have a really good goose season, because the older the geese are, the wiser they are. They're a little bit harder to decoy.
And with $3 billion coming to Texas, landowners who lease their land for hunting should have a good year too.
We have a lot of wildlife in Texas, so it's not tough to get out there and hunt.
It's a doe, it's a big doe.
For Fox Sports Outdoors, this is Lydia Saldana reporting.
Limits and seasons can be different in each Texas county, so be sure to check with Texas Parks and Wildlife for local regulations wherever you plan to hunt. Stay with us. Brian Hughes has the latest Texas freshwater fishing report, and Bill Olson gives us a saltwater update from the Texas Gulf Coast. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Abu Garcia, for life, by Navionics. We start where the road ends, by Whataburger, just like you like it, and by Mercury Outboards, #1 on the water.
Drifting right through there. Got him. Yeah! Decent hybrid. All right. Come in the boat, baby. All right, welcome aboard, everybody. We're out in the wind today on beautiful Cedar Creek Lake, and I'm trying to demonstrate for you one of the best techniques for catching hybrid stripers and striped bass that I've ever seen. And again, we're using the little soft plastic jerkbait rigged on a heavy lead head. That's the key, fishing it straight up and down below the boat. And there's a good hybrid. This will work on striped bass too, Lake Buchanan, Lake Whitney, Lake Texoma. Keystone, any of the lakes in our region that have got stripers, it'll work as well. Now let me show you up here on my Lowrance HDS5 what the screen looks like. This is bait fish with scattered hybrid stripers down underneath them. You find something that looks like that and you're almost guaranteed to catch something. If there are stripers, you'll catch those hybrids and you'll catch those. You can even find white bass doing the same thing. Okay, let's check in with our Texas fishing reports. Here's Brian Hughes, Texas Freshwater.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brass and Blades. Now first, let me wish everyone watching a happy Thanksgiving. Now, it may be t-shirt and shorts weather today, but by the time you see this, some of the coldest weather of this winter will have moved into Texas. And that's not the only change on the way. On December 1st, crappie regulations on many of our lakes will change from a minimum length limit of 10 inches to no minimum length limit. You must keep the first 25 crappie that you catch on these lakes. It's very important that you get a copy of Texas Parks and Wildlife's Outdoor Annual in order to see which of the lakes have this regulation change. On Lake Fork and Lake of the Pines, two of the changeover lakes, right now crappie are still under the bridges and they're fairly shallow at 15 feet or so. You can use minnows or crappie jigs to catch these fish. Now, cat fishermen on Lake Lewisville are having great catches right now on the flats in really shallow water about 2 to 4 feet deep near the mouths of creeks. Use your catfish formulas or live bait or cut bait for catfish on Lewisville. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brass and Blades. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, Texas Outdoors Journal brings you this week's report. For the very best monthly coastal and inland fishing information, plus year-round hunting tips, pick up a copy of TOJ on newsstands. Right now we've got our Christmas special going on, so check out the information on the website. Well, this Thanksgiving weekend, many anglers will take advantage of blast and cast options before the first split of duck season closes this Sunday, November 28th. Duck season reopens December 11th. Once those anglers turn hunters get their ducks, the fishing has been really good. Some of the better options has been on Sabine Lake, as well as from Port Aransas to Port O'Connor. On purely the fishing side, another front blows through Thanksgiving Day. However, winds are forecast to moderate over the weekend. Speckled trout have been very active as they feed around mud shell bottoms that have deeper water nearby. Some of the best fishing has been during the middle and latter part of the morning once water temperatures have warmed. In fact, the 10 to 2 time frame has produced some good quality trout, redfish, and flounder. Birds continue to work on East and West Matagorda Bay, East and West Galveston Bay, and Sabine Lakes. The warmest water on the coast remains on the lower Laguna Madre, with good action from Holly Beach to south of the Cullen House. Gaswell Flats has been producing some bigger reds and trout, with both hitting a variety of live and artificial baits. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a single tide schedule of 1 high and 1 low tide each day. I'm Bill Olson, wishing each of you a happy Thanksgiving, and remember, I'll see you on the coast.
Well, we've got some wind coming up big time out here. I'm out in the middle of the lake, and you can see I've got a bunch of birds working out here. You got this many birds working, got to be some fish around here, so I'm going to try to hold into this wind. Straight down, there's one. Got him. Oh, that's a good pull. So I'm going to need the net. There we go. All right, well, we've got them working. Cedar Creek is a fantastic hybrid striper lake. It is loaded with fish about that size right there and much bigger. I got him hooked right in the top of the head. That's a good fish right there. We're out here in the wind, gonna hang in here talking about this dead sticking technique. I didn't even mention what this is called. It's called dead sticking. Straight up and down, soft plastic jerkbait on a lead head. Deadly in the upcoming cold weather months for hybrids and stripers. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more fishing reports and more hybrids from Cedar Creek Lake.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Stren, the standard of dependability. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. And by Motor Guide, never stop.